So hello everyone, here I am with your 8th chapter, that is security and privacy. So what do you mean by security? Securing your data, for example putting an password to your application or putting password to your gallery is known as securing your data. Privacy means if you want to share something but if you're sharing halfly or what is important that much only you're sharing to someone is known as privacy. So there are three main objectives of designing a secure database. The first is secrecy. Information about not to be disclosed to unauthorized user is known as secrecy. Means you're sharing your data only to the people who are known to you or authorized to your data is known as secrecy. For example, अगर आपका ATM कार्ड है तो उस ATM कार्ड का पासवर्ड या पिन जो होता है वो सिर्फ आपके फैमिली मेम्बर्स को पता होता है जो आपके ATM से पैसे निकाल सकते हैं. सो दे आर द अथोराइज्ड पर्सन हु कैन यूज इफ यू आर नॉट अवेलेबल एट दैट टाइम. दैट इज नोन एज सीक्रेसी. The second is integrity. Only authorized users should be allowed to modify your data. Yes, the data, for example, if I say, yes, any stuff which is shared with your family members or anything, only they can modify it, they can use it, is known as integrity. Means there only the authorized user can use your data or your things is known as integrity. And availability. Authorized user should not be denied access. Means admin who wishes to update, yes. Means if there is a data where someone is an owner, means if you are an owner and you are sharing that data with someone and you give them full authority to do it, so if they wish to access their data or modify that data, they can do it in that database, is known as availability. So there are three main objectives. The first is secrecy, second is integrity, and the third is availability. So type of security. So legal and ethical issues regarding to the right to access certain information. Yes, there are different types of security and it can be used in different types also. So ethical and legal way means you are giving them the access to your data by pinning up there on email ethically, or you're giving your property, for example, for a rental basis, so you are doing an rental agreement. So yes, it is a legal and ethical issue regarding to your data certainty. System related issues such as the system level at which various security functions should be enforced, where a security function should be handled at the physical hardware level, the operating system level, or the DBMS level, the database level. So physical hardware level, for example, the data means your phone has a password is known as physical hardware level. Means your phone has a password. When you are accessing or when you are putting your security or lock to your application is known as DBMS level. And the operating system level means the system which you are putting your lock, like internal operating system which you are using, like memory is there, your data is there which is internally present in your operating system, or your yes, as you know, the operating system, that is known as operating system level. So you can put the security or password or your privacy to all the system like physical hardware level, operating system level, or the DBMS level, that is database management system level. The need in some organization is to identify multiple security levels and to categorize the data and user based on their classification. Yes, the data is categorized and the access or the privacy of the data is given as per the levels or the security levels or the category levels of the data to be classified. For example, if you say that there is an admin, there is a boss, so he knows each and everything in the office. But when it comes to HR, they only know about the employee, they don't know about the internal things. Then if it comes to the finance, they know the financial things what are going into the office. And if you are an employee doing like development you are doing or any other things in your company, so you know that level of work. So yes, it is categorized, the security is categorized multiply as per the category you are doing through. So there are unclassified policy issues, secret, confidential at the government, institute or corporate level. Government level means it is a high level, institutional level means there are an institutional level secrecy or privacy, and corporate level, yes I said, like if you're working in a company, boss knows everything, but when it comes to HR knows the financial they knows about the employees. When it comes to financial department, they know each and every account department, they know each and everyone's salary. So all the employees who are working for as in software developer or testing and anything else in the company, they don't know each other's salary also. So they only know what they are working, what is their policies, and that's it. So yes, there are different levels of security and information should be shared. So the next is methods for database security. So there are different methods for the database security. That is, first is discriminatory security mechanism. So these are used to grant privilege to the user, including the capability to the access specified data, files, records or fields in a specific mode. So yes, the granting the request or granting them an access gives them an authority to access the data, access the records, files or anything which you want to share into your database. So they can have an access like read the data, insert something if they want it into, delete or update the data. The second is mandatory security mechanism. These are used to enforce multiple securities by classifying data and users into various security classes. Yes, it is based on the roles of security, and mandatory security mechanism means boss has all the access of, if boss is having a social media, if the company is having social media presence, then the boss is having all type of passwords. He has an access of Instagram, the LinkedIn, then Facebook or anything else. But when it is being to be classified, then who is handling Instagram? The access will go to them. So it depends upon what work and what role are they on, and on their privilege and policies they are based on. So yes, there are two types, the discretionary security mechanism and the mandatory security mechanism. So the next we are going to see is discretionary access control. So it is an grant and revoke policy, grant and revoke privileges. Yes, as we have studied in the first chapter about the grant and revoke policy. So what do you mean by grant? Granting the request, granting them an access if they are requesting to do something in your database is known as granting the privilege. And what do you mean by revoking? Revoking means if you are granted the request to an user, you can take the access back by changing your password is known as revoking and granted request. Types of discriminatory privileges is there are two levels of assigning privileges to use the database system. The first is the account level. The DBA specifies the particular privilege that each account holds independently of one relations in the database. Yes, account level. For example, as I told about in social media, if I am handling an Instagram, so I will have an password of Instagram. If the person B is handling Facebook, he will have an password of Facebook. If the person C is handling LinkedIn, so he will have an password and ID of LinkedIn. So yes, account level, the access is differed. The next is relational table level, the relational level. So if only one person is accessing all the three things, he will have the meta is the form, or meta is type where Facebook and Instagram are linked together. It's a platform where Facebook and Instagram are linked together. So that is known as relation level. So the privilege only one has to be given and everything can be handled. The two accounts can be handled under one platform is known as relational level. So privileges at the account level applies to capabilities provided to the account itself and can include the create table, view privileges, means if my Instagram account is there or my Facebook or my WhatsApp is there, so if I have logged in on my desktop, so I will get to know where it has been logged in, so what are they working on. So yes, in the same way you can view the privileges where you have given the access. Account level privileges are not defined as a part of SQL, they are left to the DBMS implementers to define. The second level of privilege applies to the relation level where they are based relation on virtual relation. Select gives the account retrieval privilege, yes, and modify. This gives the account to modify the data, means update the data from the database. So as we know, grant and revoke on view and integrity constraint. A user who creates a view has a precise those privilege on view that he or she has on the database table used to define the view. Yes, if you have given someone to only view the data, view the document, so the person has the privilege of viewing the data. If you have given select the data, means retrieving the data, they can only retrieve the data. If you have given them updating the data, means they have the privilege to modify your data, update your data. So it depends upon what type of privilege or what type of access you have given to a user. Mandatory access control. In this method, a user either has or does not have a certain privilege. Yes, mandatory access control means by default he has in all the authorities or else he don't has an authority. So it depends upon the mandatory access. So if the HR wants all the access of the employee, he or she will get that access. If the boss want that access, he or she will has that access. But what about the employees? They have all the control of their department, they don't have also their control on their work. So it depends upon what the role and roles of an database users have on the database. So there are different types of read and write on database object, that is simple security property. A subject can read an object only if the security level of the subject is higher or equal to the security level of the object read down. So yes, simple reads, simple security property, and the property has different types of operations. The simple security property has an read operation or read access where they can only read the document. If you are giving them then access which is equal to their priorities, they can only read their read the data. And property means you can write up the data only if the object or the security level is higher or equal to the security level of the subject which you are giving. If you have a higher position and you don't have means to look into the micro things, so there is no need. But if it is the level like something big is happening and the boss don't knows, so he should know that thing, so is known as a property level. So the next we are going to see is role-based access control. Role-based access control emerged in 1990s as a proven technology for managing and enforcing security in large-scale enterprise-wide system. Yes, it was enforced or it came into the market in 1990s as a proven technology for managing the security. So its basic notation is that permissions are associated with the roles and users are assigned to appropriate roles. Yes, the users and the roles are assigned as per the appropriate things or knowledge which they are having. Means employee, if you know software development and you are given the work of testing, so it can't happen, right? So based on your knowledge, based on your roles and responsibility, your work has been defined. Roles can be created using create role and destroy role command. So yes, if you want to create a role of a particular user, you can create by using create role command, and if you want to destroy their role, you can destroy their role by using destroy command, means remove their role. So it depends upon role based access control that you want to create the role or destroy the role. So the next is encryption and public key infrastructure. So what do you mean by encryption? Encryption means securing data in an insecure environment. Yes, means there is a code language when you are passing some things in a public place is known as secure encryption. For example, if you are entering the password, it comes in ... that is known as encryption. Only you know that what you are typing, and your operating system which is converting that data from encrypted language to a machine readable language. For example, there are different types also, the public and private key infrastructure. The public key means if you are having a code, if you are having a code language for any data which you are passing, the key is with everyone around you, or everyone around your circle, in your friend circle knows that code, is known as public key infrastructure. And private key means you are sharing the data with a specific friend, means आप अगर share कर रहे हो आपके best friend के साथ, और वो भी code language में सबके सामने, तो आपके फ्रेंड को पता है कि ये क्या बोल रहा है या क्या बोल रही है, that is known as public key. So yes, as it is defined, there are two types, public and private key. Encryption is securing the data from an insecure environment. There are different algorithms used for some pre-specified encryption key, resulting the data has to be decrypted using a decryption key, means that is a key which you can solve the puzzle, is known as public and private key. The Data and Advanced Encryption Standard, the DES, is a system developed by the US government for use by the general public. Yes, general public can use this encryption standard to unlock the data which the government has proven, or data which you are sharing with someone. It has been widely accepted as an cryptographic standard both in the United States and abroad. DES can provide end-to-end encryption on the channel between sender A and receiver B. The DES algorithm is careful and complex combination of two of the fundamental building blocks of encryption: substitution and transposition. The algorithm derives its strength from repeated applications of these two techniques for a total of 16 cycles. So yes, the public key encryption was defined in 1976. Defin and Hellman proposed a new kind of crypto system which they called public key encryption. As I told, public key encryption means solving an algorithm or solving a puzzle publicly, or they know what is the code language is about, is known as public key encryption. And private key means only the specific person know what you are saying or what you want to say, is known as private key. So here we end with our chapter. So the IMP in this chapter is what is encryption. So encryption, public key and private key, role based access control. So this is an IMP. So you have to go through all of things, but the main things you have to see what is encryption, public key, private key and role based access control. So yes, thank you, and stay tuned and subscribe and stay tuned for the next chapter.